It's the Nice Guys podcast, and we're back. And Noah has a little explaining to do. Noah, would you like to tell the listeners what you did and where you were?
I took the nice guy's money and I went on another vacation.
You took the Nice Guys money and you took the what? You flew the what without asking me
I flew the PJ without asking you.
to the Grand Resort Laganese in Greece.
Yes,
$50,000 a night, Noah. And you were there for a week
yes,
without telling me, without asking me, without
yes.
running it by the manager.
I'm sorry, Christian. I'm sorry.
Don't just apologize
It
to
was
me.
a much needed vacation. I needed it. But thank you, Josiah, for filling in. You did an excellent job. Honorary nice guy. He was great. He was great.
I was going to say, yeah, you need to not just apologize to me, but you need to apologize to the listeners and Josiah as well.
I don't need to apologize to the listeners or Josiah because I think they got what they came for. I
I feel like we gave them a good episode regardless, but,
think it was a good episode.
you know,
It
I,
did bits. It did bits. But now we're on to episode 3 of the season 2.
yeah, I figured you would have texted me back before we planned to record, and I just had to put something together at the last minute. So, you know what? It's okay, but next time, don't take the PJ without asking me to the Grand Resort Laganese in Athens, Greece,
I
for
brought the DJ.
$50,000 a night.
I brought the DJ with us too.
Fair enough. All right, so let's get down to some business. You have filled yourself back in on everything that's going on since you got back from Greece. The NBA looked like it wasn't going to happen. Now it looks like it is going to happen. So we are just going to proceed with a little playoff talk as though everything is going to continue on as normal at some point. At least right now, that's what we believe to be the case, right?
Yeah, I mean it's back because of there's a couple meetings going on, a bunch of stuff went on. Not going to get into too much of that, but it's back. It was entertaining before the quick hiatus. A lot of stuff went on. I did see, even though I was on vacation, the Sixers did lose their fourth and final game.
They didn't just lose, they got swept.
They did.
The Celtics brought out the brooms, and what I want to know is, do you still stand behind your claim from the first episode of season 2 that the winner of the Celtics-Sixers series is going to the finals?
Honestly, the more that I think about it, okay, the Celtics did sweep the Sixers, but they didn't actually, shit on them. And there's a couple games they probably should have lost realistically. Like, if you look at how the games were panning out, I mean, that one game where – I mean, the Sixers were up twice, I think. They made a late run in one of the other ones. Like, it was a relatively close game, and they were shit the whole series. The Sixers were shit. So – I think the Celtics lose here to the Raptors. People ask me, I have to back my team,
Yeah, of course. But, I mean, they were up twice in the series at 2 different points in the entire series.
I mean, they were up a couple times. What I'm saying is they had, good leads, that they should have won. The Sixers should have won.
They look discombobulated out there. You listen to
part of the reason is because the coach, but now that coach is gone.
Right.
I don't know. It's a really fishy situation in Philly right now. I just know that Ben Simmons did not play. The best player on the team did not play, which defensively he is the heart of the team. He sets the tempo, so losing him's losing a lot. But you can't have guys go out there like Tobias Harris and Al Horford, who we've had problems with, since they came to the Sixers, and both on massive contracts now. You can't really, justify how they played. And then you have got how is Shake Milton your starting guard in the playoffs? Come on, dude. There's just a bunch of stuff. Matisse Thybulle never played. He barely played. He was playing 25 minutes a game. Alec Burks He was barely playing. He was turning. I don't know.
Yeah, well, so you say that it was good that they fired the coach, and Josiah agreed with you in the last episode. It seems
Yeah.
like everybody agrees that was a good
I
decision.
thought he should have been fired last year.
But
I said something about that.
But it feels like in the series though, and now with what you're saying, it feels like it's also a personnel issue with the Sixers. They need to get some new guys.
I mean, it's been a personnel issue. Like whenever my favorite team that we've had, had Bellinelli on it, shooter, Ersan Ilyasova, great guy, a great power forward who can play beside Joel, who can stretch the floor, good shooter. Robert Covington, guy who can play shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and as we've seen with the Rockets, center, and he could shoot the ball. And then you have guys like JJ Redick was on that team. I don't like JJ Redick, so I could have done without him. Huh?
That was not a plus for you at the time.
Yeah, I've never liked JJ Redick. So like everybody that can like be like, oh, the team was so much better. Shut the hey.
Well, and he's coming for our spot. He tries to be a podcaster too.
Oh yeah, he's not.
And he plays like the nice guy role now. He's like trying to be not nice guys like us, but he's always talking about, oh, everybody hated me at Duke. Oh, everybody, I'm a changed person. Blah blah blah. That guy's annoying.
I just think I think the Raptors, especially how they played in the first round, and how their other competition has played. I think the Raptors are looking like they're going straight to the finals again.
I think I agree with you, although Kyle Lowry, ankle sprain.
Okay. And I say this now, I just don't want to see the Celtics win another game. So.
Right. That's pure hatred coming from you right now.
Yeah. I only said that shit just because of the last thing, just because the Sixers were playing, and I wanted to be like, oh, here's a prediction. Nah, not a good prediction. Anything that's coming from me that has anything to do with bias is not going to be correct, most likely.
Well, we were just trying to get some buzz going. It was the first episode. We were trying to get –
It's a sad day. It's a sad day to be a Philly fan.
Right. Well, maybe they'll get some things figured out. So the East pretty much decided.
Yeah.
It's going to be Bucks, Heat, Celtics, Raptors. In the West, things are slightly more interesting, right? Just a little bit more interesting. Your face is correct with that. At this point, do you see anything but Clippers, Lakers in the West Finals?
Maybe.
Rockets or Jazz?
Or Nuggets are up 3-2, mother trucker.
No, other way around.
Huh?
Jazz are up 3-2.
I thought the Nuggets were up 3-2.
Incorrect. I know. I've been mixing them up on the court too. They're very similar.
Nuggets are up 3-2, dude. I will literally tell you right now that the Nuggets are up 3-2. Damn, the Jazz are up 3-2. Oh.
Yeah. No, it's okay. You were on vacation. That's a little. You're still getting the rust off. You're a little bit jet lagged. That's fine. The Jazz have been annihilating the Nuggets. I don't know how they would match up against the Clippers. Probably not doing much there. Mavericks maybe even better than the Jazz probably, and the Clippers are taking care of them.
I just don't see the Mavericks winning 2 straight, so you can count them out.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying, that the Clippers are taking care of the Mavericks.
The Lakers have won. The Clippers, the Lakers are through. Thunder, I don't see them ever winning or going to the finals.
Ever.
Houston, I don't think they play a good enough, like, people talk about, oh, the Thunder style is so unique. I don't think they play a good enough, like, team to beat the Clippers or the Lakers in a 7-game series. Yeah, they might get a couple. They play an interesting brand of basketball, I guess. But I don't think they could ever do enough to, like, beat either of the two teams. Yeah, I mean, maybe the Jazz could defensively, put up an effort. They have enough scoring on their team too. I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
It'll likely be the Clippers and Lakers.
Best defense in the playoffs right
And
now.
it's funny, I don't want to get political either.
About the Jazz's defense.
No, I was going to say about the Clippers and Lakers. I was going to say it's funny that they're the ones that voted to not continue with the rest of the season, but they're the ones in the best position to win. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, it's looking good for them. I don't know that there's that much more to say about the NBA. Anything else you want to add before we get into our fantasy preview?
Luka Doncic should be the MVP this season.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Just saying.
I can't remember if it was you or Josiah that I was telling about how impressed I was with Luka Doncic. Wow.
Dude is caring. People are like, oh, dude, he has so much around him. Who? Who does Luka? Seth Curry? The Walmart brand Steph Curry? And a bunch of other scrubs. Like, people are like, oh, Giannis is doing all the work over there in Milwaukee. Has Chris Middleton, the Lopez brothers. He has, like, a whole Eric Bledsoe. He has a whole squad. Mm-hmm. He has a whole squad. Luka Doncic is playing by himself and is, like, OP.
Yeah, no Kristaps right now.
That's what an MVP is, and he should win MVP. LeBron James who's the most valuable to their team? And Luka Doncic is the most valuable to his team. And that is it. That's it.
Maybe if Kyle Lowry doesn't play and the Raptors get blown out.
Well, Kyle Lowry, I just don't think he's the most valuable. I think that's a good team. The most valuable player should be the Raptors.
Good point.
If you think about it.
If you think about it.
It's the whole team. It's the whole team. Okay. Yeah, that's all my NBA talk.
Okay. So now we can get into the juicy part of the episode. Something that hopefully might help out a lot of our listeners in upcoming drafts of theirs. It's our official 2020 Noah opens laptop. checking. So you have come in very prepared for your upcoming fantasy draft. Do you want to tell the listeners about what's going on?
The cat is meowing. I don't know if you can hear that, but she's screaming at me. Yeah, so I came in really prepared on accident. I think I'm taking a free league too seriously, but I have officially set up a Discord for our league. Am now doing weekly commissioner power rankings for each team.
Blog posts.
Yeah, so I have a website now for our league.
But the icing on the cake is how well you have prepared for the draft, which is tomorrow.
Yeah, so I have spreadsheets. I've done extensive research on the best methods to draft, which players to draft, which players not to draft. ADPs, projected fantasy points.
You're basically putting together your own ESPN Plus Fantasy Insider statistics.
I need to have a draft guide.
Exactly. Yeah, you
people buy.
Release it and sell it. Yeah, like those magazines in the store are now online, the things that people subscribe to.
Yeah, facts.
Develop.
Yeah, I have here's something I could share with everybody. Something that, because I don't know how many people would do this, but so I made what kind of how big of a table? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, like an 8x11 table twice, and then at the top of the table I did.
So that's
first pick, second pick, third pick, fourth pick, fifth pick. Oh wait, no, I didn't. Wait, redo. I made a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 5, 6. 6 by 8 table.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that twice. And so essentially how do I get my
Essentially, you have a lot of information on.
Yeah. And so no, but what you can do with this table, I'm trying to figure out how. Oh, there we go. We're back. I'm trying to. So what you can do with this table, I have quarterback, halfback, wide receiver, flex, tight end, and then on the first pick is the first pick in the draft. Second pick in the draft. And that team will be that team all the way up. And every time they pick a player, mark off what position they pick. That
Okay.
way you can mentally think, oh, what player do they need most, like after your pick or before your pick? Like, oh, what team needs this? So that's why I'm people are gonna think I'm crazy. If I get the 4th, 5th pick in the draft this year, I'm gonna lose the league. I've done a lot of research. I'm gonna lose the league. I swear to God, if I get 4th or 5th. I've done enough research. I figured it out because I've basically predicted everybody's picks in all of our leagues. I've done about 100 drafts. You basically lose the league unless you draft really good. You basically lose the league if you get 4th or 5th and like don't trade or anything.
Yeah.
I have like a draft grader out of all the mock drafts I've done. I've gotten A+ mock drafts, and first pick, second pick, 6th pick, 7th pick, 8th pick, 9th pick, 10th pick. I've got A+ drafts. I haven't gotten above a C+ at 4th and 5th.
So what is your strategy here?
So, I mean, I don't want to reveal too much.
Do you have like a highly mathematical, like an equation, an algorithm that figures?
I don't have too much of an algorithm, but based off of the average draft positions,
you have a little bit of an algorithm, not too much of an algorithm.
I don't have too much of one.
Just enough algorithm.
I have like medium algorithm right now, like a medium algorithm that's like average draft position, projected picks in each one, value plays in each position, how high you can't take a player, how high you should take a player. Yeah. So I have a whole list of do not pickups and pickups.
You're the new Matthew Berry.
Yeah, dude. I've actually gone whenever Katie goes to bed and I'm laying in there and it's like 12 o'clock at night, I'm in there picking players and doing extensive research. I only have up to the 5th round, so maybe you could say in the later rounds I could struggle. I kind of have a method for when I'm going to pick my kicker and defense, but I guess we'll see tomorrow when draft day comes how I'm going to pick this draft.
Right.
But basically, if I get 4th or 5th, I'm fucked unless you guys are retarded.
Well, and the fun part though about all of this is that, as you pointed out, the season might not even happen, or any of you could do the best draft in history. Your players could all get COVID and not play. So I actually think that you have a flawed system, and that I actually have put together the perfect 2020 fantasy football algorithm, if you will,
I would totally agree with you whenever you say that you should think about COVID when drafting players.
Exactly, and that's actually exactly what I've done here. So my algorithm, meaning what I just wrote down in Microsoft Word, works a little bit differently than Noah's. So what I did was I wrote down the states. I looked at the CDC's map of COVID cases per 100,000 people, right? So bigger states are going to have more numbers, right? So you got to look at the like per capita thing to really determine how close in proximity these players are going to be to the coronavirus, right? So what I came up with were a list here, states that have more than 2,000 cases per 100,000 people, which is the CDC rates as like severe. They're, like
Yeah.
dark red on the map and it looks scary and it's bad. And I've made a list here of some players that I'm not going to draft, and those listening might not want to draft either. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to know what you think of this. So, the first team you're not going to want to draft anybody from. Absolutely not. This state is a disaster. I didn't know this. They're the only state in the country that has more than 3,000 cases per 100,000 people. Absolutely awful situation. I'm talking about the state of Louisiana and the New Orleans Saints. So, you make that face because a lot of people probably looking at Michael Thomas after what he did last year.
I wouldn't even say he's the one that's
Or, Breeze and Kamara. I mean, on pretty much all lists, Breeze, Thomas, and Kamara are in the top 20, top 25.
maybe, yeah.
So a lot of people are looking at those. I will not be, however. The next state you're not going to want to look at is Florida. Florida is number 2 on the list. That's 3 teams, but really there's only one team that has players worth drafting on it, and that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So no Brady, no Mike Evans, definitely no Gronk. I don't think I would take Gronk anyways. I'm
This is the
skeptical.
whole thing. Gronk's rated really highly this year.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. I would be skeptical. I would be very skeptical.
Reports on Gronk too. We shouldn't share too much because I want some of the people in our league to draft Gronk.
Oh,
But
well, yeah,
I
no,
want for everybody to just draft Gronk, Tom Brady, and Mike Evans.
right. Oh, yeah, did I say this is a list of players not to draft? I meant this is who you want.
Yeah, this is exactly. Just so you know, hey, this is who you want, guys.
Yeah. So the next team on the list. Sorry, what?
I was gonna say, make sure to watch this video if you aren't in our fantasy league. Watch it on the podcast platform if you are in the fantasy league.
Right.
That way we can make facial expressions if they're actually.
Yeah. So right. So going forward, here's a team that you definitely want to take players from. You want players from this team. The Arizona Cardinals. Arizona is number 4 on the list of COVID states. So Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, pick them up as soon as possible in your drafts.
You can be saying that, dude. You've just marked off 3 of some of the best teams to pick, though. Who else do you have to pick? I think this could be a flawed system.
Well, no, I have. So I have a little thing at the end. I will tell you who is safe from COVID. Falcons. Georgia's number 6 on the list. Gurley, Matt Ryan. The recently moved to Las Vegas Raiders, Nevada, number 9 on the list, and pretty much everybody who lives in Nevada lives in Las Vegas, so the rates are going to be ridiculous there. And the Davis family are just gross, so you know that they're not going to have good hygiene. The Titans, Tennessee, number 10 on the list. And then number 12 on the list, Cowboys and Texans, the state of Texas, I mean. And then another state that you absolutely do not want to take players from, New York City.
You've marked off every team.
Right. So
have you made a team? Did you go this deep? What's your ideal team then?
no, listen. Well, so I put together. I do have a little list, but I want to reiterate. You especially don't want to take players from the Jets and Giants because New York City itself is number 3 on the list, and the state of New Jersey, where they actually play, is number 11. So
I don't think anybody's drafting anyone from New Jersey.
Well, but I mean that's where the Jets and the Giants play, and that's
what I'm saying. I don't think anybody's drafting any of them.
Saquon Barkley.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He's looking good. He's high on lists. I don't know. I mean, I'm not drafting him, but so what this leaves basically, here is my top 5 available players who live in states that are not as badly affected and are less likely to get COVID. Number 1, Christian McCaffrey, North Carolina, doing okay. Number 2, Dalvin Cook. He's very high on my list. He's a touchdown machine. There were only like 2 games last year that he didn't score a touchdown. Number 3, Patrick Mahomes. Number 4, Lamar Jackson. And number 5, Devontae Adams. Noah, what do you think about that list?
Would you draft those all before Devontae Adams?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So also what I wanted to get to was here's who you do want to pick up, right? So I found out that there are only 2 states that have cases lower than 1,000 per 100,000 people. That's Washington and Colorado. So what that means is late rounds, start picking up some Broncos and some Seahawks.
Are you looking into Drew Lock?
Because they're not. I am not at all. I'm looking into Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett.
You're only naming Seahawks players.
Chris Carson, and the running back duo of Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay, who you had a good time with last year. Phillip Lindsay, that is.
I did have a good time with Phillip Lindsay. I think the one guy on the Broncos that we should definitely look at is their wide receiver that they just picked up in the draft this year. And you would probably know him. You just have to think about it. Who did the Broncos pick up this year in wide receiver?
You're going to make me guess?
Yeah. He's one of our favorite guys.
Oh. I don't know.
Jerry Judy.
Jerry Judy, that's right. I was going to say Alabama.
Maybe people should look into Jerry Judy.
I don't know. I don't like picking up rookies. You never.
Cortland Sutton is at the Denver Broncos as well. But we have to remember Drew Lock is throwing to them. So, yeah. Maybe I would consider picking up Gordon or Lindsay, but I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why the run game.
There are very many options here.
The run game in Denver is going to be heavy because of that quarterback situation.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think with that whole situation, though, you're leaving a lot of guys off the list that would be picked up.
This is how you got to look at it this year. Guys are going to be dropping left and right, and they're going to be out for 2
I
weeks.
think what you need to consider is how rich someone is.
Why?
Because how much do they actually care about, like Tom Brady? Is Tom Brady – also, if they have families, is Tom Brady going to, someone who has all the money in the world and who's not going anywhere besides to see his family, he's not going to catch coronavirus most likely.
But guys on his team.
That's like Christian McCaffrey. What does he have to do besides play basketball? He seems like a really annoying guy. J.J. Watt's not going to catch coronavirus. Christian McCaffrey's not going to catch coronavirus. I don't think Saquon Barkley would catch coronavirus.
But the thing is, they live in places where you never know.
That's why I think Derrick Henry could catch coronavirus.
You got to go to the grocery store sometime.
Maybe. I don't know. It's looking weird. A guy that I think could catch coronavirus and types of people that we could look out for, the types of guys.
That's such a funny session.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
We're talking about rookies.
Yeah, rookies. I mean, you have to think rookies, they don't really realize how much they have to lose.
Right.
So people are drafting Clyde Edwards-Helaire for some reason late first round, early second round, which is stupid.
Very stupid.
I think you need to look at Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the 5th round or 6th round. He's going to be gone by then. He's the number 1 guy in Kansas City. He will catch coronavirus. I'm saying it.
I'm on board with that. I mean, you already saw the guy for the Seahawks try to sneak the woman into his hotel room. Rookies.
It's crazy. And this is also something we need to consider too. Rookies, there's not that much of there's no preseason. They have no practice. They haven't gotten used to any sort of playbook at all, really. They've only been there for so long. How is someone like Clyde Edwards-Helaire supposed to fit in that Kansas City offense who's been, playing with each other? They've been playing with each other.
They've been playing. Yeah, well, hopefully they won't be playing with each other too much because they'll catch the coronavirus, if you know what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I have a couple guys all the way up there. I don't really have any rookies below 40 besides Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is my only rookie in the top 40.
I just love that I literally have a list of 10 people, and you're like, oh, let's see, above 40, I have.
Dude, I seriously have name a guy that I'll tell you three guys. If you can name three superstars, I'll tell you, or guys that are really good, I'll tell you if they're on my list.
Okay. I got a couple that I'm curious about.
Okay.
T.Y. Hilton.
Not on my list. Top 40.
Not even with Phil Rivers.
Not on my list.
Interesting.
Neither is Marlon Mack, so don't ask.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor is higher than Marlon Mack, in my opinion.
I like Jonathan Taylor.
He's not on my list either. So.
Well, okay. I mean, rookies.
Right, keep going.
But let's see. Austin Eckler.
That's actually a fantastic.
I'm curious about him.
That's a really random person that I didn't think you would ask. I actually have Austin Eckler at 12.
Yeah, because he's projected.
12 best fantasy pick. Yeah, the cat is going crazy right now.
But I don't know about Eckler this year, though, because of the quarterback situation. People are saying that you can trust Tyrod Taylor and Justin Herbert, but I don't know.
Hey, if you like to eat sherbet, you can trust Justin Herbert. Hey, man. Austin Eckler is gonna be a really good guy to pick up, I think, mid-second round, early third, if he's there by early third.
Yeah.
He's definitely someone you should look out for.
Okay.
Do you have another one?
Let me think of a third.
I can give you a few more too. I can give you more than 3.
You want to give your list away, don't you?
No. Because the first one you asked wasn't even on my list. I'll give you 3 on the list. I mean, I have a lot of running backs on here. I have a lot of wide receivers. Yeah. I have some tight ends. I have a few quarterbacks.
Nobody I'm really interested in. How about Travis Kelsey?
I have him at 15 on my list. He's the number 1 tight end by, a lot of positions. Like I said, I said this in the group message. If I have I've done a couple different scenarios. If I fall in a certain 2 positions on the draft, I could look into drafting 2 tight ends in the first 3 rounds.
Don't do that.
Last season, I won out of 6 games. I started 2 tight ends, 1 in the flex spot, 1 at tight end. I won 5 of them.
Austin Hooper
and Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
So if I have 2 of the top 3 tight ends, which are the only ones I see going in the top 40. Okay, there's another breaking news. I have 4 tight ends in the top 40, but if I have 2 of those guys in the top 3, in my opinion, I could end up starting 2 a week and keeping one person from having one of the best tight ends. So that's a play.
Your algorithm is very diabolical.
It's about buying wins. Like I said,
people's players as well.
If you've ever seen Moneyball, you would know that it's about buying runs and how to prevent other teams from having runs. You take their runs away.
So how does that apply to football?
So if I'm keeping a team from having one of the best tight ends, that means I'm technically gaining points because of their shitty tight end that they have to pick up. Because there's only so many tight ends.
Which assumes that the tight end position even.
Like after the 6th tight end you pick, Darren Waller is the last one, and he's probably in the 8th round for me. Darren Waller. After Darren Waller, they're all the same. Literally every tight end you pick up. T.J. Hawkinson, fucking Gronkowski, I think, is in that level. Hunter Henry, fucking Jared Allen, or not Jared Allen. What's his name? The guy from New Orleans that I had, Jared Cook.
Don't pick up Saints though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is all those guys are the same. They'll get you the same amount of fantasy points every week, basically.
Okay. Then yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If I can steal 2 of those guys, and everybody else has to have those shitty ass guys.
How about Galladay?
Galladay, I do have on as 26th.
Okay.
I think he's a top 5 wide receiver this year. I have Michael Thomas up there, Devontae Adams, Julio. There's in between Kenny Galladay, and then I have DeAndre Hopkins and Kenny Galladay. There's 3 wide receivers above DeAndre Hopkins and Kenny Galladay, but I'm not gonna. There's only so much I can spill.
What about Christian McCaffrey?
Okay, so this is the last one I'll give you, and it's kind of a cop out. He's my number 1. I think he's everybody's number 1.
Okay.
He's not catching coronavirus.
What about Dalvin Cook?
I'm not telling you.
What about Tom Brady? Come on.
He's not in my top 40.
For content.
I'll tell you guys if they're not in the top 40. What?
Lamar Jackson. Tyreek Hill. Here, let me get a pen and
Where do you think Lamar Jackson falls on my list?
I think you need to tell me after I get a pen and a piece of paper so I can write this down.
Where do you think he falls?
Top 5.
You're gonna keep guessing?
Top 10.
He's in the top 40, but you're gonna keep guessing?
No shit.
You're gonna keep guessing?
I'm not gonna keep guessing. I need you. Why don't you just tell me?
Lamar Jackson's at 35 on my list.
Interesting.
Yep.
That's very interesting considering how QB heavy the league is.
Yep.
What about Devontae Adams?
I already told you where he was.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I'm going. That's the last one.
Well, I like this dichotomy of approaches that you and I have because they're pretty much the opposite as you're telling me these players and how you're ranking them. I think one or the other is going to win out, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I have a lot of faith in mine.
Take both into consideration, in my opinion. The coronavirus / like actual talent.
The Noah Plus fantasy preview.
Maybe. I don't know. It's a tough draft this year because there's so many different like Big Ben's coming back, so Juju Smith-Schuster actually has, and then you have guys like Cooper Kupp who might not see any touches.
Yep.
Then you have DJ Chark who could drop all the way to the 8th round because is he going to have another good year again? Chris Carson, is he still a good running back? I don't know. There's so many questions.
Been reading some reports out of Steelers camp that Big Ben might have some rust, so we might want to take that into consideration.
Been hearing some reports out of the Panthers camp that Will Grier does not have rust. He's the complete opposite, and he's apparently been really shiny.
Shiny.
Shiny. He has been shiny.
Who's the other quarterback in Carolina?
Teddy Bridgewater, maybe?
Yeah, that's right. Doesn't matter. They have McCaffrey.
Shitty. I'm getting Madden, so I'm going to be football heavy for a while. I'm getting Madden, and I'm joining a franchise league with a bunch of other people. We're doing a franchise.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I'm the Browns.
You have to play as one team?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound very fun.
Like a league. Everybody has a team. I'm the Browns.
Are the players like the same, or do you get to
They're
draft?
the same, but you get to like trade and stuff.
I don't like that. I wouldn't like playing a whole season as the Browns. How did you get the
You
Browns?
play the whole. It's like a dynasty. You play like a whole.
Did you draw the short end of the stick?
No, I want the Chubb.
Oh yeah, where's Nick Chubb on your list?
I'll give you this one because he's the Chubb.
It's gonna keep.
He's at 16.
Okay, yeah, he's pretty high on a lot of people's lists.
Yeah, I mean he's above like a lot of running backs.
Yeah,
he's in that upper tier. Once you have him, you don't have another really good running back until, in my opinion, like 30.
and you want to draft a running back high. That's a mistake that I learned from last year.
Well, you want to draft a running back high depending on what pick you have.
How?
There's some later picks in the first round.
I mean, the running backs are the biggest point getters consistently.
Technically. The fall off is much larger for running backs, but depending on how other people draft in your league, like if you're taking Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey all in the first round, and Michael Thomas goes in the first round, you could be getting a really good running back in, the third round. Mm-hmm. So it just all depends on how your league drafts.
You got to be flexible during your draft.
Yeah, you always have to be. That's why I wrote so many names down and stuff like that, because I could see it going so many different ways.
Right.
Because I have no idea who, you're going to pick up, or my brother is going to pick up, or
Nick is a real wild card too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people that I honestly don't think read into anything, but that makes it much harder because it's not like something you've been practicing for. It's like something totally different. So people are going to come out with a lot of the good players, that you want to have, later on, rather than, I don't know. It's going to be tough.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
I hope nobody listens to this podcast before draft.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm fine with sharing you my secrets.
Well, it depends on which of us they listen to.
Well, I think they should listen to both of us. I'm listening to you right now. I think you have some great points. You should take into account the opportunity for coronavirus. Yeah, but I think the richer, LeBron James will never catch coronavirus. He has no reason to catch coronavirus
because he's in the bubble. I don't think the money makes a difference. It's where you are.
I think it does.
I think it's where you are.
He probably has the cure for coronavirus, to be honest.
Well, Bill Gates has the cure for coronavirus.
He has a cure for cancer too.
Yeah, and it's, but it's meshed with mind control. So
it's funny because Jeff Bezos doesn't have the cure for baldness.
Dude, got his ass. Give me some of that.
You would think.
All right. Is that going to be all for today?
I think it's for the most part. Let me see if I have anything else written down. Just a few guys I'm not drafting. Mike Evans, Gronk, Brady. Yeah, we covered that.
I said exactly that.
Yeah, I know. Guys we are drafting from the Bucs. Ready? Chris Godwin, Ronald Jones. That's it. That's all I had. That's all I had. Literally it.
That sounds good. This has been a fantasy preview episode of the Nice Guys podcast. For Noah, this is Christian. See you guys later. Thanks for listening. Thanks for